Check Sean G out. We live. Lower Manhattan. Share this video. Share this video with Judge Subramanian. Share this video with Teny Geragos and Alexandra Shapiro. Share this video with whoever you have been discussing or arguing about the Puffy trial with, on your job, in your family, at the park, at the gym, wherever. Share this video with them. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it. I got my notes, everything over there. Check Sean G out. McCann Cornell. Regular J. Regular J, your tie ain't no good, man. Your tie ain't no good. Let me give some shout outs real quick. Shout out to my man Anthony Blackman. Anthony Blackman, check me out. Anthony Blackman sent me the cash app for the coffee. Frou Fines. Ilya Davis, shout out to Ilya Davis, Morgantown represent. Roman Espinal. Lucifer Ratzinger. Marcus Mitchell. All right, so look, we're gonna get right into it. Hold up, let me get my stuff right here. Share this video. Share this video on your social media platform. So we got a lot of things I want to cover today. I got the dope new tripod. I got the brand new tripod joint. So we got a lot of things we want to cover. So first of all, there was a couple of documents filed last night. First of all, I want to say, Judge Subramanian, let's not get distracted with what the senior probation officer in the probation department is going to put in Puffy's PSI. Let's not get distracted by the obfuscation, right? And the smoke and mirrors that the probation department is going to try to do, you understand, as far as Puffy's PSI. Let's stay on track. Judge Subramanian, got my coffee right there. Hold on, let me get some coffee. Hold up, let me get some coffee. We over here in New York, we live. Got the dope coffee. It's all right. It ain't good and it ain't bad. It's just a regular cup of coffee. So Judge Subramanian, let's not get thrown off track by the probation department's insertion in Puffy's PSI that has nothing to do with what went on at the trial. Latrice Greenwood in Texas, I see you. Let's not get distracted with that. I was at the trial, Judge Subramanian. You was at the trial. The senior probation officer, I don't know who it is, and the support staff most likely were not at the trial because they had to work. They have to clock in at a certain time, and they have to clock out at a certain time. I need 100 thumbs up right now in the live chat. Hurry up. Hurry up. I need 100. I need 100 thumbs up. Hit it right now. But Judge Subramanian, I was there in the courtroom, 24th floor. You was on the 26th floor. I was there every day. I missed maybe 4 or 5 days. But what the Southern District of New York is gonna try to do in Puffy's PSI, which, according to Mark Agnifilo and Teny, right, they are going to file, the Southern District of New York is going to file Puffy's PSI on September the 18th, right, which is next Thursday. Now, Judge Subramanian, check Sean G out. Check me out. Check me out. I came over here the other day and we went through Cassie's testimony, Cassie's cross-examination by Anna Esteveo. And we heard during the trial up there on the 24th floor, we heard that Cassie was the brains behind the freak-off. She was the point of contact for the male escorts to engage in the freak-offs. Cassie initiated the freak-offs. Cassie wanted the freak-offs. Cassie was in a 7 or 8 year relationship with one of the male entertainers, got pregnant by him, according to his testimony. She called him direct. She would summon the male entertainer wherever he was. That was her. Okay? Now, I got Jane Doe's testimony. We're going to go over that too. We're going to go over the Teny Geragos cross-examination of Jane. And when we go over that, Judge Subramanian, you know as well as I know, because I was there in the courtroom and so was you. We was both there. We heard that Jane Doe was the one that reached out to Cabral. Jane Doe was the one that reached out to Antoine. She invited them over. She hit them on Instagram. She DM'd them on Instagram. Then she FaceTimed them on Instagram. And then when they got on the FaceTime, Puffy put the FaceTime up on the TV. And Jane Doe started asking them to send her pictures, and she sent pictures, and then she invited Cabral over and Antoine over, and Jane Doe was the initiator of the hotel night. Jane Doe was the point of contact for the hotel night. Let's not forget that part, Judge Subramanian. The probation department and the people putting together the PSI, they was not in the courtroom. They are only being told what to do, you understand, by the assistant U.S. attorneys who tried the case and lost. Let's not forget that part. The Southern District of New York got beat. They lost. They are the losers. They did not win. And what we can't allow to happen, Judge Subramanian, what we can't allow to happen is the fact that they lost the racketeering conspiracy because Puffy, Judge Subramanian, was acquitted by 12 New Yorkers in a fair trial. Puffy played it fair. Mark Agnifilo, Nicole Westmoreland, Xavier Donaldson, Brian Steele, Anna Esteveo, Jason Driscoll, Jonathan Bach, Alexandra Shapiro, Teny Geragos. They played it fair. They played by the rules. They didn't even call not one witness. Puffy and them didn't call not one witness. And the jury of 12 New Yorkers, and we are grateful for the jury process. We are grateful for the jury process because Judge Subramanian, let me relieve you of any pressure that you may feel that you need to do this, or you need to do that, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. You don't need to do nothing because the jury spoke. I only got 50 likes. I don't know what that's all about. I need 100. 100. Hurry up. Hit the like button now. Do it now. Hurry up. So, Judge Subramanian, you are absolved. You are relieved from any responsibility, blame for you making the correct decision because the jury spoke. The jury spoke. The Southern District of New York also charged Puff with sex trafficking, right? Once again, the 12 New Yorkers, the jury said that, nah, Puff didn't do that. He was acquitted. The jury acquitted him. The Southern District of New York lost. They got beat. Teny Geragos, Mark Agnifilo, Brian Steele, Nicole Westmoreland, Xavier Donaldson, Jason Driscoll, Alexandra Shapiro, Anna Estebeyo, they beat the Southern District of New York, kicked their ass, beat them at trial. Not because you said so, not because I said so, not because nobody in there says so. Let me show you the courthouse. Judge Subramanian, nobody in there says so, right? Nobody over there says so. Here go the federal building, Southern District of New York federal building. Nobody in there says so. Nobody said that they got beat other than the jury. This was a jury trial. This was a jury trial. Let's not lose sight of that. Let's not lose sight of that. Judge Subramanian, I need you to stay with me, man. I need you to stay with a nigga, man. Stay with the brother, man. Stay with me. Hold up, let me get my stuff right here. Hold up. Stay with me, man. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. We got a lot of ground to cover. Now, that being the case, that should have been it. That should have been it. That should have been it. Right? Not guilty, sex trafficking. Not guilty, racketeering conspiracy. Not guilty, bribery. Not guilty, arson. Not guilty, kidnapping. Not guilty, possession with the intent to distribute drugs. Not guilty, force and coercion. Not guilty, just not guilty across the board. That was the charge that they wanted. Those were the charges that they wanted. And they wanted Puff to get a life sentence without the possibility of parole. But he beat it. Now, what we can't allow to happen, Judge Subramanian, is because they lost the bigger charges, now they want to lop on, they want to pour on, my coffee right there, they want to pour on, or they want to make these Mann Act charges like they a big deal. They not a big deal. The Mann Act charges is not a big deal. Small potatoes. small potatoes. The man that charges you small potatoes. Small potatoes. The man that small potatoes. Small potatoes. Now, my belief, Judge Subramanian, I think your jury instructions, the jury instructions you gave, I don't really know, and I don't want to quote and be wrong, but what they should have been the Mann Act 18 USC 2421, right? Prostitution. The Mann Act, the jury instructions, and you maybe made a mistake, and that's cool. We could fix it. You maybe made a mistake, but we could fix that. We could fix that. Should have been that Department of Justice policy, the United States Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. said, as the feds, we don't even bring no prostitution cases. Fool, we don't even do prostitution cases, right? Unless it's a for-profit or commercial. And Roland Lee, what up? Or a commercial gain. There's a commercial gain. There's profit involved, right? With underlying charges of sex trafficking, where the women or the victims involved, there is an immigration issue, a language issue, and the women are trafficked here, their passports and all their paperwork taken from them, and they don't speak English, they got no paperwork, they can't run to the 5-0, they stuck. And then the dude or the woman that's trafficking them tell them, say, yo, you gotta give up the kitty cat in order to stay here. You gotta give up, you gotta do the raccoon. You gotta do the raccoon with various men in order to stay here. That is the only, that ain't me. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. The Department of Justice said that. Now, I believe, Judge Subramanian, had you instructed the jury to those facts, they too would have acquitted Puff on the Mann Act joints. On the Mann Act joints. Because we've gone over this over and over again, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but when the Mann Act was enacted, it was enacted with the specific aim of women and girls. Women and girls. It was originally called the White Slave Traffic Act. This is in 1910, 115 years ago. What Jane Doe and what Cassie was doing, right? Cassie and Jane were bringing in dudes. They was bringing in dudes. They was bringing in dudes. Cassie and Jane was bringing in dudes. Man, hit the like button, man. I'm tired of telling y'all to put me on 100, man. Put it on 100. Cassie and Jane was bringing in dudes. So this is not congruent, right? And it doesn't fit in with the initial understanding and the initial intent of what the Mann Act was supposed to be, right? So, and I believe if you would have instructed the jury to that fact, they would have said, well, that ain't what Puff did, and I think you made a mistake there. But that's cool. It's cool that you made a mistake. because you can make it right, right? You can make it right. We make mistakes and we learn from our mistakes, right? And then, as I said the other day, I don't understand why is Cassie's charge still even being discussed when the statute of limitation is 5 years for 18 USC 2421. 18 USC 2421. 5-year statute of limitation. Puff stop hitting Cassie around 2018. That was the last time he hit it. That was the last time he hit it. He hit it one last time. He hit it one last time and said, yo, that's it. I don't want to hit it no more. I don't want to hit it no more. Now, yesterday, Mark and Teny, well, all of them, but it's really on Mark and Teny's letterhead. So, first we request that the defense's sentencing memorandum, which is currently due September 19th, be due September 22nd. Puffy is asking for 3 additional days. The reason for this request is that the final pre-sentence investigation report, the PSI, will be filed on September 18th. Given the draft's length and the anticipated objections we will need to address, defense counsel would appreciate the weekend to incorporate those objections into the memorandum. We also consent to the government sentencing memorandum, which is currently due September the 26th, extending it 3 days to September the 29th. Right? Now, let's stay on topic. Now, Judge Subramanian, on July the 9th, you issued an order. It was a one-page joint. And you said in that order, I don't got a copy of it with me, but I got it in my dome because I got a photographic memory. I have a tremendous memory. You said that it would help you a great deal if the Southern District of New York and Puffy's legal team could give you some cases and some precedents of cases that have taken place within the federal system, exactly the same as Puffy's Mann Act charge or comparable to Puffy's Mann Act charge, and what those sentences were. And what you specifically referenced in that order was 18 USC 2421, and then you referenced the sentencing guideline range of 2G1.1, right? And when I looked up the sentencing guideline range for what you requested them to do, we come up, and you also said a category, criminal history category of 1. When you look that up, that comes back as a base offense level of 14. Base offense level of 14. Category 1 gives you 15 months to the low end of the guideline range, 21 months to the high end of the guideline range. Now, Judge Subramanian, what we cannot do and what we cannot allow the Southern District of New York to do is muddy the waters, smoke screen, obfuscate, get us off our square, and have us thinking about relevant conduct that happened at the trial, right? Which, according to Amendment 826, none of that can be used when factoring the sentencing guideline range for Puff, right? We can't let them try to bring all of that in because they lost the big charges and now they want to make up for, they want to sentence Puff for the big charges and pile it on the little charge. You can't do that. Amendment 26 doesn't allow that. Okay? Now, we gotta stay there, right? Now, I can't, me personally, and you know I'm an advocate for Puff. I'm down with Puff. I'm down with Puff. Hands, I'm down with Puff. No doubt. 1000%. 1000%. I'm down with Puff. I let that be known from the door. Now, maybe I'm too biased. I can't see an upward departure. For what? What is going to be an upward departure? What is the upward departure? Right? Violence. You already said that the Southern District of New York can't use violence when considering the sentencing guideline range. I can't see no other reason for an upward departure for a punk-ass Mann Act charge when my man beat the biggest charges. He beat the big ones. He beat them. But what I do see, Judge Subramanian, and we can't forget this, is if they want to go back and blame Puff for all of that back there, and what he did way back there, what they put in social media, right? All the lies. Then you can't forget that Puffy, beginning in 1993, when he started Bad Boy has been in existence for 32 years. Bad Boy Records is 32 years old. And from the very beginning, he gave money to historically black colleges, $1 million to Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi, $2 million to Howard University, Boys Club of America, built 2 charter schools. All of this, right, deserves a downward departure. Then he already did a year. He did a year in MDC Brooklyn. So after doing a year in the federal system, you got to do 85% of your time. He gets 54 days credit for good time, right? So if we come in at the low end of the guideline range, right? Puffy should get out. He should get out. This is what I wanted to say. Check Sean G out. Check me out. This is what I wanted to say right here. This is what I wanted to say. Number one, right off the bat, we need a Rule 29 acquittal. That's what I wanted to say. And Judge Subramanian, you don't got to feel no pressure for agreeing with Alexandra Shapiro that Puffy deserves a Rule 29 acquittal. Because you didn't acquit him, a jury of his peers acquit him. All different ethnicities, all different nationalities. The jury pool and the jurors selected, the 12 jurors, was a collective of different, it was a quilt. It was a diverse background, a diverse jury of various backgrounds, and they acquitted him. If we can't get the Rule 29 acquittal, Alexandra Shapiro asked for 2 or maybe even 3 mistrials because of the perjury, because of the perjury, because of the repeated perjury. Judge Subramanian, the perjury, man, the perjury, man, perjury, perjury, perjury. What you want me to say? I didn't do it. I didn't get up there and perjure myself in front of you. Dawn Rashad got up there in front of you and perjured herself. I didn't perjure myself in front of you. Cassie got up there and perjured herself. Capricorn Clark got up there and perjured herself. Deontay Nash got up there and perjured herself. Kid Cudi got up there and perjured herself. Mia got up there and perjured herself. Kid Cudi got up there and perjured. Alexandra Shapiro asked for a mistrial for the perjury. You denied the mistrial. Now, we need the Rule 29 joint. We need the Rule 29 joint acquittal. And you don't have to feel pressure to not give that. It's the right thing to do. It's the right move to make, is the Rule 29 acquittal. Because the Southern District of New York, they lost. They got their ass kicked. The Southern District of New York got their ass kicked by Mark Agnifilo, Teny Geragos, Puffy, all Puffy's lawyers. They lost. The loser don't get to make no rules after you lose. Motherfucker, you lost. You lost. Next, who up next? New file. Now, let's get back to second, we request a leave to file an expanded brief larger than the court's maximum of 25 pages. In light of the complexity of this case, the number of guideline issues in dispute, the need to address the prior Mann Act cases disclosed in the September 1 filings, and the need to thoroughly address all of the 3553A factors, we note that the defense's guideline arguments and objections to probation are already greater than 25 pages single space. We do not yet know how many pages we will need, but we will be as concise as possible to avoid redundancy. Now, check Sean G out, Judge Subramanian. 53. I come straight paperwork. I'm not these other fake ass social media pages that all emotional and whatnot, don't know what they talking about. We come straight from the document. So check Sean G out. Now, imposition of the sentence. Factors to be considered in imposing a sentence. The court shall impose a sentence sufficient but not greater than necessary to comply with the purposes set forth in paragraph 2 of this subsection. The court, in determining the particular sentence to be imposed, shall consider, number 1, check me out, but not greater than necessary. I got this off of the United States Sentencing Guidelines webpage. You got to consider the nature and the circumstances of the offense and the history and characteristics of the defendant. Subsection 2, which they talk about. The need for the sentence imposed. A, the sentence should reflect the seriousness of the offense, to promote respect for the law and to provide punishment for the offense. B, to afford adequate deterrence to criminal conduct. C, to protect the public from further crimes of the defendant. D, we ain't got to worry about all that. So, this is coming back to the sentencing. If we get that far, we really don't even need to go to sentencing, to tell you the truth. You understand? Because when we come down here on the 25th for the hearing, I believe that you are going to set Puff free that day, because he deserves it. He's got a 4-year-old daughter. Got a 4-year-old daughter. Got a 4-year-old daughter. 6 other kids. I mean, what are we doing here? He won at trial. So we just gonna fuck Puff around now just because we got him on these little weak ass charges, Mann Act. Now, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Check Sean G out. Judge Subramanian, I'm serious about this, man. Paperwork, man. Paperwork. Application of the guidelines in imposing a sentence. Except as provided in paragraph 2, the court, Judge Subramanian, shall impose a sentence of the kind and within the range referred to in subsection A4, unless the court finds that there exists an aggravating or mitigating circumstance of a kind, or to a degree not adequately taken into consideration by the Sentencing Commission. In determining whether a circumstance was adequately taken into consideration, the court shall consider only the sentencing guidelines. Got to stay within the guidelines. I'm not telling you that. I know you know that. But I'm just saying what the rules are, right? And most likely, it's hot out here. Let me get loose. Hold up. Check Sean G out. Check Sean G out. Check a nigga's suit out. Judge Subramanian, check my suit out. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. What'd that say? Custom tailored. Custom design. Custom suit, man. Right off. When I had that suit made, Judge Subramanian, I went and stood like this, and he took all my measurements, and he sewed that. I picked that fabric out. My suits be money. My suits be all that. Custom tailored joint. I don't have to tell you that, right? But because I got sentenced according to the federal sentencing guideline range, right? And when I got to prison, right, I was talking to other dudes and they started telling me about upward departure, enhancements, that kind of thing. Now, from what I understand about enhancements, just an example, for instance, suppose like some dudes would get caught up on a drug conspiracy, right? That was 10 years, mandatory minimum 10 years. Then they would get enhanced a couple of levels if they had a gun. While if they had a gun while in the drug conspiracy, they would get enhanced. They would get enhanced some more if they discharged the gun in the commission of the drug conspiracy. So those would be the types of enhancements. Now, if it was their second offense or third offense, they would get enhanced again because they have a criminal history. Now, none of this, my man, what's up, man?
Oh, Donald Trump responsible for that?
Huh? What's up?
Donald Trump's responsible for that. Most black folks, any candidate, 90 years.
Crazy ass motherfucker right here was filming me. He's filming me right here. The dude came right here, white dude came right here. He was filming me. So you saw what I did, right? Then he dipped on off talking about the president. I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with the president. I ain't got no problem with nobody. Now, as far as Puffy, what's up, man? What's going on? What's happening?
Just one of your followers.
Okay. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. So the enhancements can only come, I mean, I don't see, according to the letter that Teny and Mark wrote, they've given them a draft of the PSI, and it's probably got crazy enhancements in there, crazy shit added on. But what could it be? What could they enhance Puff for? He got no criminal history, Judge Subramanian. He got no criminal history, no convictions. This is his first offense. When I got convicted on my first offense, there was no enhancements. As long as you don't, in the federal system, as long as you don't have no convictions within the last 15 years, that can't be used in the calculation of relevant conduct with the sentencing guideline range, right? Now, check this out. Check this out. In sentencing a defendant convicted of an offense under Section 1201, well, that's involving a minor. There was no minors. No minors. They said there was before the trial started. That never came out. That never came out in the testimony. That was a lie. Now here it talks about a motion of the government that the defendant has provided substantial assistance in the investigation or prosecution of another person who has committed an offense, and that this assistance established a mitigating circumstance of a kind or to a degree. This is for rats. This is 5K1. If you sign a 5K1 or a proffer agreement or Rule 35B, Puff didn't rap. There's, you understand? So this don't even apply. This don't even apply. You know, the defendant has provided substantial assistance, right? You got to go to Atlanta for that. You got to go see Young Thug for that, Gunna, Woody, right? And go to Brooklyn and Tekashi 6ix9ine. They fall under here, providing substantial assistance. That's them. Now, here we go too. The court, which is you, Judge Subramanian, at the time of sentencing shall state in open court the reasons for the imposition of the particular sentence, and the sentence is of the kind and within the range described in section A4. Now, if it's within the range or outside the range described in subsection, you're gonna have to give the specific reason for the imposition of a sentence different from that described. So, at sentencing, you are gonna have to, and I know you know this, you are gonna have to, if you go outside the guideline range to the upside, you do an upward departure, you're gonna have to state in open court why you did that. And if you go below the guideline range or whatever, you're gonna have to state. But you really can't go below the guideline range because Puff done already did the 15 months. He done already did, he done know, Puff done already did the 15 months. He did a year, 12 months, and then he got 54 days of good time. So you not gonna have to say nothing if you tell Puff it's an immediate release when we come to the hearing on the 25th to talk about the Rule 29 or the Rule 33, which is what I think you're gonna do. I think Puffy is going home on September 25th. I don't even think October the 3rd is even coming, sentencing, because he already done did a year for a Mann Act charge, right? Where we already have established violates the Department of Justice policy about bringing these types of cases to trial, right? And there's no commercial gain. Puff wasn't making money on it. Number two, Cassie's statute of limitation is expired. So anyway, staying with the paperwork, check Sean G out. So that's all I wanted to say on this. That's all I wanted to say on this. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Check me out. Share this video. Share this video. Judge Subramanian, you still there? Look at my tie. You see my tie? I got the dope orange tie on. Judge Subramanian, I wear fly ties, man. Honeys love my ties. They say, Sean, you wear the best ties. Okay, Judge Subramanian, check me out. Remember we was in court? Jane Doe, direct examination. Maureen Comey did it. Maureen Comey did Jane Doe's direct examination. She started on June the 5th, 2025 at 2:21 in the afternoon. I was up there. So what was established about Jane Doe, she met Puffy, Judge Subramanian. This is who this girl is. This is who Jane Doe is. Check Jane Doe out. Watch Jane Doe. Puffy was involved with this honey, right? The honey that Puffy was involved in. Remember when we was in court that day? Judge Subramanian, remember you heard this? Me and you heard this? All right, my man. Peace, man.
Big fan, all right,
All
Sean?
right, my man, all right.
My brother.
My man, appreciate you, man.
I said I'm gonna catch you.
You gonna catch it? Judge Subramanian, remember we was in court, me and you? Remember me and you was in court? You had the 26th floor covered, I had the 24th floor covered. We had both floors covered. So Puffy was dealing with this other honey. Jane Doe was the honey's friend. Jane Doe was the honey's friend. Puffy, this is all under Maureen Comey, direct examination. Jane Doe, I got it right here. Jane Doe, direct examination, Maureen Comey. I got the dope notes. I got the best notes. That's why my coverage was the best out of everybody. Everybody down here, my shit was way better. My shit was up here. My coverage was up here. Theirs was down here. Theirs was down here. My shit was up here. Elite level. Elite level. Puffy was romantically involved with the girl. Jane Doe was the girl's friend. Puffy called the girl, said, yo, come down to Miami. Let's go out to dinner. Bring all your girlfriends. So the girl got off the phone. She called all her girlfriends, like 5 of them. Yo, Puff, let's go by Puff. Puff invited me down to eat. He said I could bring y'all. Then she called Jane Doe. Yo, Jane Doe, come on down. We're going down by Puff. So all the honeys, about 5 of them, went down to eat with Puff. Right? Puff came out like this. Puff said, yo, I'm paying for everybody. I'm paying for everybody. I pay. Eat what you want. Drink what you want. Eat what you want. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got the credit card joint. I got the dope credit card joint. So they all ate. They all ate. Puffy paid for it. Then Puffy said this. 5-0 right there. Hold on, let me get some coffee. So after Puff took everybody out to eat, he said, yo, Puff said, yo, come back to my crib. Judge Subramanian, you remember this part? Puff said, yo, come back to my crib. And his boat was right there. Puff had his boat right there. He said, yo, let's go to my crib. Let's all go on my boat. So they was like, bet. Nigga fed us. Now the nigga gonna take us to the boat. They all go back to the boat. Right? So Jane Doe said that while they was all on the boat chilling, Puffy got up and went to the bathroom. Jane Doe saw the nigga go to the bathroom. She saw him. Said that nigga went to the bathroom. She get up and walk by the bathroom. She get up and walk by the bathroom. She get up and walk by the bathroom. So Puff come out the bathroom. Boom. Jane Doe standing right there. Jane Doe standing right there. Jane Doe then start flirting with Puff right there. Jane Doe started flirting with Puff right there, and Jane Doe gave Puffy her number so they could get together, and Jane Doe's girlfriend is right in the other room on the boat who invited Jane Doe there. That's the kind of bitch she is. Jane Doe got invited by her friend and stabbed her friend. She cut her friend's throat and got with Puff on the boat. So boom, everybody dip. The night is over. Everybody dip. Boom. The girlfriend that Puffy was involved with, according to Jane Doe, can't believe nothing she said because she lied so much. She said that girl got engaged and moved to Europe with her new boyfriend, and that she was seeing Puff and that dude at the same time. So when her girlfriend moved to Europe, she felt like, Jane Doe said she felt like she could step to Puff now. It was an open door. So she get with Puff. Puffy invite her back down to Miami. You know, Puff don't care. Puff got a lot of girlfriends. Puff got a lot of girlfriends. Puff said, yo, come on down. Come back down to Miami. Hurry up. Come down here. Hurry up. Come back down here. So when Jane Doe come back down there, Jane Doe tell Puffy that, yo, my son's father, you don't get along with my son's father, and my son's father, he don't like you. She told Puff who it was. Puff said, I don't care. Then she said she had dated somebody else close to Puff. Puff said, I don't care. So Jane Doe said, after they got by that, they made love all night. Puff hit it all night. They went and walked on the beach. Then they went out again on a date night. And then Puff said, all right, I'm gonna see you later. And she went back to wherever she was staying. And Jane Doe testified she was Judge Submaranian when she said that. Head over heels in love with Puff already. Jane Doe testified to that on the stand. She was already head over heels with Puff. After the first time he hit it, she head over heels, right? So in February, this all happened in I don't know if it was November, December, or January. So in February, Puff said, yo, let's go to Turks and Caicos. They go to Turks and Caicos for 9 days. After they get done, 9 days in Turks and Caicos, they fly from Turks and Caicos to the Bahamas on Puffy's jet. Puffy got the dope jet. They fly over there. She stayed with Puff 15 days straight. 15 days. Puffy rented a villa. Puffy rented a villa on the private jet. Judge Submaranian. Remember this part? The KK was on the jet. The butler was on the jet. The chef was on the jet. Puffy's barber was on the jet. And he had a photographer on the jet. The jet was full. Jet full. Jet full. Jet full. Jet full. The jet full. She tell Puff she's a content creator. Hey, queen for life. The jet was full. Jet full. She tell Puff she's a content creator and she's an influencer. But really, what she do is she has OnlyFans. She sells kitty cat on OnlyFans. That's what she really do. So she leave after the 15 days with Puff. She tell Puff, like, yo, I'm so in love with you. Oh man, I wanna be your girl. I'm in love with you. Puff said, yo, chill. Puff said, chill, stop. Don't do that. Puff said, don't do that. But Puffy, I love you. I want to be your girl. I want you to be my man. Puff said, chill. Chill. Puff said, I'm single. I got a bunch of honeys, man. I got a bunch of honeys. I got a bunch of honeys. No, I'm single. And then Jane Doe on the stand said, Maureen called me, asked her, well, what did you do? She said, Jane Doe said, I didn't care. I didn't care that he had other girls. I was going to deal with it. I was going to deal with it. That's what she said. Then she left, and Puffy sent her $10,000. After he invited her on he took her out to eat, took her on the yacht, walked her on the beach, flew with her in his jet, 9 days Turks and Caicos, flew with her from Turks and Caicos to the Bahamas, spent 15 days with her, then told her, said, yeah, nah, baby, never that. I'm single, man. I'm a single nigga. I got a lot of honeys, man. That's what he told her to her face. She said, well, I'm gonna deal with it. Then he sent her home and he sent her $10,000. After all of that, he still sent her 10 grand. After all of that. Judge Subramanian, remember this part? She moved to LA to be closer to Puff. Who paid for her move? Puffy sent her $6,000 for her move. Jane Doe. Judge Subramanian. Puffy would give me money just because. That's her testimony. That's her testimony. That was Jane Doe's testimony. February to May 2021, Jane Doe testified on the stand, Judge Subramanian. You was sitting right here. You was sitting right here in the courtroom facing that way, and the witness stand was right there, remember? Jane Doe was right there, and she said that her and Puffy would watch porn together. They would have the porn playing. And she would dress in provocative lingerie, and that her and Puff would have sex for 12 to 24 hours. She put baby oil on him, he put baby oil on her, right? All over his body. I would put baby oil all over his body, and he would put it all over my body. And then he would take out the white light bulbs in the crib and put in red light bulbs. So they would put in the red light bulbs and rub baby oil on each other, watch porn, and they would have sex for 12 to 24 hours. Judge Subramanian, Jane Doe on the stand, check this out. I loved the sexual experiences. It felt intense. I loved Puffy very much. Where's the prostitution? Where's the prostitution at? Where the prostitution at? Where's it at? Where the prostitution at? Yo, everybody do me a favor. Go in the comment section and say, where the P at? Where the P at? Where the P at? Judge Subramanian. Where the prostitution at? Where's that? Where the man act at? Where the man at? Go in the say, where's the man at? Where the man act at? Where the man act at? Where the man at? Where's that? Where's that? Where the P at? Where the man act at? Where the man act at? Judge Submarinian, where the man act at? Where? Where? I mean, what are we doing here, man? Where the Rule 29 at? Where the Rule 29 at? The Rule 33. Let's go, man. Come on, man. May 2021. Jane Doe on the stand. We would watch pornography and have fantasy conversations. We would role play with other men. So they would be watching porn, and Puffy asked her, they was watching porn, and Puffy asked her, do you want that? Can you imagine that? Puffy told her, I can make this happen if you want it. Puffy said, we can make it happen tonight. Jane Doe said, tonight? Then Jane Doe said, okay, I said. So, 2 assistants went and set up a hotel room in Miami. Oh, look, I got the notes right here. Then Don showed up from Cowboys for Angels. So they went on a website to a legitimate business and they hired Don. Don showed up. Jane Doe, I stood up, took off my robe, and I started dancing for Don. So Jane Doe, she butt naked. And Don is there, and she dancing for Don. Don began touching me, and I began touching Don. And she said that Puffy was over there, butt naked, masturbating, watching her and Don. Don is not a minor. Jane Doe is not a minor. Puffy is not a minor. These are consenting adults, all engaged in a consensual act. Me and Don were doing foreplay. I gave Don oral sex for a while. Puffy was talking positive. Jane Doe, moved us to the bedroom with Don. After it was all over, me and Don had sex for a while. Puffy was watching. After Don left, me and Puffy made love. So after Don hit it, Puffy hit it. They both hit it. We were happy. Jane Doe, we were happy. When I got home, I felt exhilarated. It was fun, taboo, sexy, and crazy. That night opened the Pandora's box, and the door was open that I couldn't shut. She felt exhilarated. She felt exhilarated. It was fun. It was sexy and crazy. We were happy. Where the man act at? Where the prostitution at? Where the P at? Where is it? Where the man act at? Judge Subramanian, where's the man act at? I like to keep my shirt tucked in real tight. You gotta look like a professional. You gotta be the best. I love to compete. I'm competing against everybody. See how my shirt real tight? Look how my shirt real tight. Look how my shirt real tight. Gotta look like a pro. Competing against everybody. Jane Doe. I like to be beautiful for Puff. I wanted to be beautiful for him. I got my nails done, went to the gym, tanning salon, hair done, all for Puff. My income, when I met Puff, Puffy gave me a $20,000 wire. I was getting child support. He would give me $5,000 to $10,000 cash just because. What's up, man? What's going on? Huh? Everything cool? What's up? Huh? What? I'm on my YouTube live. What's up with you? Huh? You ain't gotta come so close to me. What's up? Where you going? You going somewhere? Alright, well I'm doing something right here. Huh? What? What? I'm doing something. I told you I'm on my live. You wanna say what's up? You wanna say what's up? Alright, come right here. Stand right here. Say what's up.
What's up?
Alright. Alright. Alright, man. Peace. Alright. $2021, I wanted to do OnlyFans. Puffy said no. I was gonna do bikini, lingerie, light nudity. I had a girlfriend that made $4 million a year doing OnlyFans. Puffy didn't want her to do it, but I wanted his approval. He paid her rent, $10,000 a month. Text message, Jane Doe to Puffy, sexually explicit text message to Puff. I wanted to have sex with someone else a lot because that turns Puffy on. Text message, Jane Doe to Puff, I'm horny for you. Puffy, you wanna? Text message, Jane Doe, I want to suck Paul's dick while you give me that strong stroke game. This is Jane Doe. That's all I'm supposed to have, sucking a hard dick while another dick is inside of me. So this is Jane Doe. These are texts. These are texts from Jane Doe to Puff about what she wants to do. Where's the man at? This is her testimony.
What's up?
Talking to me?
Debonair.
Huh?
You look debonair.
Thank you, baby.
You know, I had that.
Come here, come here, come here.
No, thank you.
You don't
I
want?
had to have met you before.
You met me before?
I had to.
You had to have met me before. Where you met me at?
I'm not exactly sure. What is it that you're good at?
You ain't never met me before.
How do you know?
I know you ain't, because if you would have met me before, I would know that I met you before.
All right, let's refresh our memories. Are you a thinker?
Am I a what?
A thinker.
A thinker?
Yeah.
What's going on, baby? What you want, baby?
I'm not sure. I just would like to see and know why you are videotaping a solo of this. Are you presenting yourself or showcasing yourself in such a way you know you can't be yourself?
So, this is how,
You are not just debonair, because I know you as a thinker.
huh?
I know you as a thinker.
Yep.
I think.
All right, baby.
Hypothetical guess.
Thank you, baby. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day.
No rewrite recite.
All right. So,
Critical.
so Puffy and Jane Doe, were watching porn, and they were watching this dude named Cabral. Back to back. And Puffy asked her, do you want that dick? She said, yeah. Jane Doe testified, I sent Cabral a message on IG. Jane Doe, sent Cabral a message on IG. Cabral responded. I text him, I'm a fan of your work. We should meet up one day. She FaceTimed Cabral. Puffy was standing right there. While they was on the FaceTime, they talked about sex. While they was on the FaceTime, Jane Doe showed Cabral her kitty cat, right? And Cabral showed Jane Doe her joint, his jointski joint. She met Cabral. Judge Subramanian. I made his arrangements from Atlanta to LA. I booked Cabral's flight. He was really sweet. I had butterflies. He was cute. I was nervous. Come on, man. I mean, what if we Judge Subramanian, man? Rule 29, man. Rule 29. Acquit Puff, man. Look at this, man. You was there. Jane Doe. I saw Cabral many times, and I invited him. I paid for his tickets from New York City to Trump International. I was reimbursed by Puff. This is the next dude, Antoine Harris. Jane Doe. I contacted him while we were watching porn. I DM'd him on Instagram. We spoke on the phone. I invited him over to hang out. Puff watched and was happy. No money. No money. No money the first time. Jane Doe, no money. Met up with him a good amount of times. Jane Doe. Jane Doe. I asked, I would FaceTime with Cabral and Antoine when I was with Puff. I would flirt, sex FaceTime. Puff would put the FaceTime on the TV. Jane Doe. I asked Antoine and Cabral for dick pics, often because I was alone with Puff. Never requested. Got sent dick pics without Puff. So even when Puffy wasn't around, I was more aggressive, horny, because I wanted to turn Puffy on. She was communicating with these dudes when Puff wasn't there, man. Text message. November 9th, 2021. Jane Doe to Cabral. I'm so horny, I need you so I could get pics and videos for Puff. We need to have a conversation first, baby. That's what Cabral texted her back. Jane Doe, do you want me to call you? Cabral, yes, baby, please. I'm so horny. She asked for his full name to book his travel. She booked his travel. Cabral and Jane Doe text missing you, explicit photos. Jane Doe would set up herself. Jane Doe, I loved Puffy very, very deeply. Maureen Comey, did you tell, who crossed it? Teny Geragos, did you tell him every day? So Judge Subramanian, man, you know what I'm saying, man? This thing got so stupid, man. You know, especially for me, because I was here. All this testimony that I'm reading, I heard it. Jane Doe to Puffy. I always wanted to kiss him, touch him. I loved him. I'm tired, man. I mean, there's really, Judge Subramanian, really, there's nothing left for you to do. There's really nothing left for you to do but to acquit Puff. Free Puff. The Southern District of New York, they lost. They got their ass kicked at trial by Puffy and his legal team. They had no chance. The Southern District of New York had no chance to beat Puffy's lawyers. Puffy's lawyers are elite level lawyers. Alexandra Shapiro is going to appeal. If you don't do a Rule 29, Alexandra Shapiro is definitely going to appeal. 100%. And she's going to get it overturned. And like I say, it's not your fault. The jury acquitted him. The jury acquitted him. The jury acquitted him. Right? The jury. You didn't do it. Free Puff, man. Free Puff. Free Puff. Maria, what's up? Free Puff, man. I don't know what else to say. Let that man go home to his kids, Judge Subramanian. Let him go home to his daughter, man. No force, no coercion. Come on, man. Shout out to Puff. Send this video to Puff, man. Hey, Judge Subramanian, check this out. When Puff get out, you acquit Puff. Do the Rule 29. Then I'm going to bring you on my channel. You could do an interview with me. I help you start your own YouTube. I help you start your whole YouTube platform. Then you can get Puff, do an interview with Puff. Come on for me. Come on for me. Shout out to Canada. What's up? Shout out to Puff, man. Guidelines, 15 months to 21 months. He done did a year already. Anybody got any questions, man? Hollywood T, free Puff, man. Sean G, a real one for the truth. Yo, Joe, what up? What up? Check me out. Check Sean G out. Get my garbage. Maria, what's up? Milton Scott. Milton Scott, what up? September 25th. It's going down. Queen for life. What up? Free Puffy, man. Free Puffy. Free Puff. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here, man. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Hey, yo, who won that trial? Did the Southern District of New York win that trial? Who won the trial? I got a question. Did the Southern District of New York win that trial? Tyrone fellas, what up? Shout out to R. Kelly, man. Marvin Johnson. Puffy the King of New York. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. All right, man, let me get up out of here, man. I'm finna go, man. Finna get up out of here. Finna get up out of here, man. Yo, send this video to Puff, man. Send this video to Puff. Shout out to Puff, man. I'm the world's greatest. Hold up, yeah. Hold up. Hold up. Before we go. Hold up. Check Sean G out. How you doing?
Hi, are you live
Yeah,
streaming?
come on.
No.
Come here. Say hi. Asian girl. Hey, before we go, check me out. Shout out to all my foundational Black American brothers. Shout out to all of them. Peace.